Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rulla Alani, and today I will be reacting to online dating studies. So on my channel we frequently talk about dating and high quality dating apps, but today I thought it would be really fun for us to go through these findings together, discuss my opinions, and just share some ideas because they found some pretty interesting things. So the studies that I will be reacting to in today's video came from a Mental Floss article. It was published 7 years ago in October of 2014. I do want to let you guys know that because I'm sure that there's more recent studies that have been done, but I thought that there was some really interesting facts in this one that I wanted to share with you all. So the article is titled 11 Results from Studies About Online Dating. In my description, you can find a link of this if you'd like to read it yourself, but we are going to be going through each of these 11 findings and talking about them. So let's get right into it. The first one was that 81% of people lie about their height, weight, or age in their online dating profiles. So obviously, this is kind of unfortunate, and I have talked about this in previous videos. There are many people who lie about these things, which I don't really understand, because if you have the intention of meeting people, then you better be honest, because eventually they are going to find out the truth. So generally, I know some people will lie about their eye color. I also know men tend to lie about their height. They might add like an inch or two, which is silly to me. And also age. I think that you should be very upfront about age because it's one of those things that can make a difference in whether or not someone's interested in you. It's important to be honest about these things. Obviously, you should be confident, you should be proud of who you are, what you look like, and that is going to come forth in your profile. So just be honest. I wanted to get into the details. So it was a study conducted at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. They found that women tended to claim that they were 8.5 pounds lighter than they actually were. Men lied by only 2 pounds, but they rounded up their height by a ½ inch more often. People lied the least when it came to age. So this is interesting. People are lying more about their weight and their height versus their age. I find it incredibly interesting that some of these apps are asking about weight. I have never been asked about my weight on an app. I know that sometimes they may ask like, what's your physique? And there's options such as like fit or lean or average or things like that. But I have never been asked to specifically list my weight. So let me know in the comments if you guys have ever been on a dating app that asked you that, because that seems a little bit intrusive. Number 2 is something that just makes my heart full. People who had the word love in their profile were more likely to find love. This is so on par with everything that I always speak about on my channel. I always tell you guys to be vocal about what it is that you want, especially if you are seeking love, if you are seeking a partner, you know, someone who is going to be serious about a relationship with you. State that on your profile and don't be shy about it. I mean, if you guys know anything about manifestation and just the power of words and thoughts, then you would know how important it is to say what you mean and mean what you say when it comes to your profile. This study was conducted by Plenty of Fish in 2014, and they found that the word love tended to make users more successful. So this is definitely something to take note of next time you are creating your profile. The third study found something that is a little bit funny, but I'm sure it's true because men tend to focus more on photos. So they found that men spend 50% less time reading online dating profiles than women. This is a little bit disheartening because even personally, I have been someone who has spent a long time writing my profile, optimizing it, like making sure that it reflected exactly who I was. I am notorious for having very long dating profiles, so, you know. you guys better start taking time to read it, because I think you can find out so much about someone from the dating profile. And even in my experience, when guys sent me very superficial messages, I knew they hadn't read my profile, because I have clearly stated that I was not looking for something casual, that I was looking for something serious. And so the way that you present yourself in a profile should dictate how people message you. This study also found that men spend 65% more time looking at pictures in the profile than women do. So this is actually interesting, because a lot of men tend to think that women just focus on pictures, and that a lot of men don't stand a chance when it comes to online dating. As you guys can see, this is false. It's actually women who are spending a lot more time reading profiles, and it's the men who tend to focus on the pictures. So if you are a man out there who maybe your looks or your physical appearance isn't your strong suit, but you bring other things to the table, don't be shy, don't be weary about starting a dating profile. Just do it, because there are a lot of women out there who are willing to look beyond just the looks. Number 4. This finding found that race and class are the most important factors to dating. This is crazy. Like, I would have not imagined that in 2021 people are still so adamant about dating a certain race, ethnicity, a certain social class. I mean, we are all entitled to have our own preferences, but that is a little bit shocking to find out that that is such a big determinant, even in this day and age. So in this study that BuzzFeed ran, they found that when someone classified themselves as working class, only 13% of the people swiped yes. But when the person considered themselves middle class, people swiped yes from 36 to 39% of the time. So that is like almost triple the amount of yeses that the middle class person is getting versus the working class. It was also interesting because they found that people preferred a potential partner to be of mixed or ambiguous race instead of a different race than their own. There was another study published by the National Academy of Sciences, and they actually found that the majority of heterosexuals on OkCupid actually did contact people of another race and answer messages from them. So it seems like there isn't like a straight answer that people are preferring people of their race or not. It just seems to depend on the dating app that you're using. Number 5, this finding is going to make a lot of dating app owners upset, because it found that the algorithms cannot predict whether two people are compatible. So there are a lot of different dating apps out there who claim that they are going to find someone who is aligned with you based on interests, based on values, based on different specifications, but actually seems that those systems are not really working. I mean, it makes sense. Love really can't be pinned down to an algorithm, and I think that no matter how much this algorithm, optimizes itself, at the end of the day, love is love, and I don't think that filling out a survey is really going to help you find someone, because there are times when opposites attract, and there are times when similar people attract. It really just depends. So they found that sites could not predict whether a relationship would last just because two people had similar interests and personalities. So obviously that means that personalities and interests aren't the only things that dictate whether a relationship is going to be successful or not. There are so many other factors in the mix. Okay, the next one is not very surprising. They found that 1/3 of online daters never go on a date with the people they meet online. I think that this is not very shocking, because a lot of people get on a dating app, but they're not actively using it. They just kind of make a profile and forget about it. And this is why a lot of people come to me and they tell me, I haven't had any success with online dating, and I ask them, have you been swiping? Have you been responding to messages? Have you been active on the app? And their answer, 9 times out of 10, is no, I haven't. So just do your due diligence, right? If you are truly looking for love or looking for something specific, then put in the effort, take some action. It's not just going to happen by chatting once or twice. So this study is not very shocking to me. It's because a lot of people, I think, are lazy, or they just get a dating app thinking that something's gonna fall in their lap, and they don't realize that they still need to put in some work to actually go to the next step and meet someone on a date. Okay, the next one is kind of upsetting, kind of shocking. I don't know how to feel about it. This study found that women who don't drink receive 24% fewer messages than women who do. That is just crazy to me. That means that if you're a woman who drinks, you are 4 times more likely to get a message. That is just weird. Like, I honestly think you should not judge someone for drinking or not drinking. I mean, obviously we're referring to social drinking. We're not talking about someone who is an alcoholic, right? I don't believe that even I would, skip out on a message for someone who didn't drink. Now, it would be different if that person expected his date not to drink or expected, his future partner not to drink. That would be a different situation. But I think that people are not really messaging these women because maybe they think, oh, she doesn't like to have a good time. She doesn't like socializing, which is not true. I think we need to stop with this assumption that people who don't drink aren't any fun or don't know how to have a good time. There are plenty sober people out there who still know how to, have a good time, who still know how to have a good conversation. And I don't think that we should be judging them or leaving them out because of their decision to be healthy. Now, even more specifically, this study by Plenty of Fish found that women are more likely to get messages if they are Catholic, that is random, have a dog, earn more than $25,000, and don't have master's degrees. What? Like, that part just threw me off. Why is a woman preferred if she doesn't have a master's degree? Like, I have a problem with that. Why aren't we giving attention to women who are educated, who have master's degree or doctorate's degree? I think that is just absolutely absurd that women with master's degrees are receiving fewer messages. The other part of the study was kind of predicted. It found that men get more messages if they are brunette, high earners, PhDs, and Christian. So the religion part is kind of interesting to me. As well as men being brunette. I didn't know that that was the preferred hair color. But I'm still trying to wrap my head around why women with master's degrees are not receiving as many messages as those without. That just seems odd. Like, why aren't we reaching out to women who have gotten their master's? Something's off. Okay, the next one has less to do about what actually happens on the dating app, but it's about who talks about their dating app experience and their dating profile. This study found that about 30% of women consult with a friend about their profile, while only 16% of men do. So I assume that, women are asking their friends to read their profile or check their pictures or something along those lines, whereas men are just going with it, right? Men aren't really overthinking their profile. They're just going with the flow, and I think either way it's fine. I have many people messaging me, asking me to look over their profile, see if there's any changes to make or how it could be improved. Honestly, does it really matter? I think it does, but clearly the previous study said that men barely even read the profile, so who knows? The next study found that couples who meet online are more likely to break up. So obviously this caught my attention because I'm someone who promotes online dating. This research study that was conducted at Stanford University and Michigan State University surveyed more than 4,000 people. And they found that breakups were more common with people who met online versus offline. But on the flip side, we have some positive news. The 10th study found that couples who met online were less likely to divorce. So that's kind of shocking. Basically, from these two studies, one of them is saying that, well, couples who met online were more likely to break up. So that means, they dated, they were boyfriend, girlfriend, but they didn't make it to the next step to marriage, right? However, this study found that if they did make it to marriage, they were actually more likely to stay together than couples who met online. So this study was conducted in 2013 by a journal known as the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. And they found that 35% of 20,000 people who responded to the survey met their spouse online. And they also found that those who met online had a 6% separation and divorce rate, whereas couples who met offline had an 8% separation rate. Obviously, 6 and 8% isn't that big of a difference, but it's still interesting and it's something to take note of. So this last finding is pretty dang awesome. They found that online dating saves people money. Yep, you heard me right. So this study found that couples who met online tended to get married after 18 and a half months of meeting, so about a year and a half. However, couples who did not meet online waited about 42 months before marrying, so that's about 3.5 years. Now, when they factor in how much dates cost and how much time was spent, it's basically a difference of $23,000 if you're meeting offline versus $12,000 if you're meeting online. So if you're taking into account how many dates that people tend to go on, then online dating actually saves you money. So that concludes all of the findings that I am reacting to today. Obviously, there were some pretty weird ones. There were some interesting ones, and there were some that were expected. So I want you guys to comment down below what was the weirdest study that we went over today, what you think about it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I mean, obviously, as you can see, online dating has its pros, it has its cons. There may be people who lie, there may be people who might get together and break up. There might even be people who chat online and never meet, right? But at the end of the day, I think anything has its pros and cons. I still do believe that online dating is something that everyone should try. I recommend it, obviously, if you're single. I think that it's convenient. I think it's easy. I think it saves people time, and I guess it saves people money too. So make sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye. Mwah.